Shri Gurubhyo Namaha children. We welcome you to our online teaching academy Ekalaiva. Yesterday we started our new lesson cost and revenue analysis. We discussed about different types of cost and all yesterday. Today we are going to discuss about short run cost curve. So in that first we are going to discuss about total fixed cost, that is TFC. Total fixed cost is nothing but all the payments which the producer or a firm pay for the fixed factors of production. So for example, if you take total cost equal to Q3 minus 18Q square plus 91Q plus 12, here the fixed cost is 12. That means if quantity is 0, if the firm is not going to produce anything, but the total cost will be 12, hence it is fixed. So TFC does not change with output. Whether the firm is going to produce a product or if it is going to increase or decrease the product, TFC is not going to change. So TFC is a horizontal line parallel to the x-axis in this case. So in this tabular column, you can see that output. So if the output is 0, here the total fixed cost is 1000. If the producer is going to produce 1 unit, then also the fixed cost will remain constant. It is not going to increase or decrease. If he is going to produce one more unit, that is 2 units also, the fixed cost is going to remain constant. So total fixed cost will not change according to the production. So in this graphical representation, you can see here 1000, that is total for fixed cost. It is marked on the y-axis and output is marked towards x-axis. Here this TFC, it is a straight line which is parallel to the x-axis. So total fixed cost remains constant. Whether production is there or not, it remains constant and it is parallel to x-axis. Next we are going to discuss about total variable cost. So total variable cost is the payment which is made by the producer or a firm to the factors which may vary during the production process. So in the previous diagram we saw TVC is 0 when nothing is produced, and here also you can see when nothing is produced, total variable cost is 0. When the output increases from 0 to 1, then 1 to 3, if it is increases, we can find TVC curve slope upward from left to right. You can see the slope, how it is moving. So we will get a total variable cost. So in this tabular column also you can see when the output is 0, total variable cost is 0. So for example, if you are running a business, if you are not going to invest anything, you will not produce anything. So if you decided to produce 1 unit, then automatically you have to invest 200. So you have to spend 200 rupees. Then if you are going to increase your output to 2 units, then automatically your cost will also increase. In the previous concept, we discussed that the cost is fixed. We saw 1000 rupees. Whether you are producing, whether you are going to increase or decrease, the cost remains constant. But in this case, according to the output, cost also differs. So this is total variable cost. Next, we are going to discuss about total cost curve, that is TC. So total cost curves are sum total of all payments made in the production. So how much you have spent or a firm spent in the production process. So it is also known as total cost of production. Total cost is the summation of TFC and TVC. So you people know how to calculate TFC, and we discussed about TVC also in our previous concept, isn't it? So here you can see in this table output when the output is zero. Here a total fixed cost was 1000. Here TVC was 0. So TC equal to, when we add this TFC and TVC, we will get TC. So when we had 100 plus 0, sorry, 1000 plus 0, we get 1000. The same way, if the firm decide to produce 1 unit, fixed cost will remain constant, but variable cost it will change. So 1000 plus 200 equal to 1200. Then if we decide to increase one more unit in production, then fixed cost is going to remain constant and variable cost is going to be 300. Then if we add, we will get 1300. Already you know very well what is fixed cost and what is variable cost, isn't it? Okay, now total cost is equal to total fixed cost plus total variable cost. Now we are going to discuss a few things related to this. So in our previous concept, we discussed that TC equal to TFC and plus TVC, isn't it? Okay. So first you can see TFC, it is a straight line. We discussed in our previous concept also, 1000 is the total fixed cost which remain constant. It does not bother about the production, isn't it? So here you can find TFC, which is a straight line and it is also parallel to x axis. This is the thing which we discussed in our first slide itself, isn't it? So this TFC, it remains parallel to x-axis. And one more thing you can see, it is also a straight line. It is not a curve. So if you take TVC, it starts from its origin. When there was no production, it starts from the origin and moves upwards according. When the production increases, it also moves upwards as no variable cost at increased and zero output. So when TFC and TVC are added, TC starts from TFC and moves upwards. So in the previous tabular column also, we started with 1000, isn't it, as total fixed cost. So it starts with 1000 and this curve lies above the TFC. You can see TC curve, it lies above the TFC curve and it moves upwards. So TVC and TC curves are the same shape but the beginning point is different. So you can see both these curves. This curve is TVC curve and this is TC curve. Both the shape of these two curves are same but their beginning point is different. It depends upon the cost. Now we are going to discuss about average fixed cost. So it refers to the fixed cost per unit of output. Already you know what is meant by average, isn't it? I told you an example also. So if somebody asks what is your percentage, what is your average mark? So if you have written for 500, if you have written 5 subjects, then you will be dividing it and you will be telling your average. So in the same way, average fixed cost also calculated cost per unit of output and it is obtained by dividing the total fixed cost by quantity of output. So we can write it in the formula as AFC equal to TFC by Q. So in this tabular column also quantity is given here, that is Q. TVC, that is total variable cost. Already I told you, if into variable cost means the cost will differ according to the units produced. And here AVC TVC by quantity, that is here 0 by 0 equal to 0, 200 divided by 1 equal to 200, 300 divided by 2 equal to 150. So in the same way we can calculate the AFC. So here, for example, if we take, if total fixed cost is 1000, isn't it, and the quantity output is 10, so then the AFC, that is average fixed cost, is 1000 divided by 10 equal to 100, which is obtained by dividing rupees 1000 by 10. Now here we are going to discuss few points in the same way. AFC declines as output increases and fixed cost remains constant. So here you can see AFC. So it declines. AFC curve, it declines as output increases. You can see when the output increases from 0 to 5, the curve started to decline, and it is a downward sloping throughout its length. It is downward sloping. It never touches x-axis or y-axis, and it is asymptotic to both the axes. Asymptotic means a straight line associated with a curve such that as a point moves along an infinite branch of the curve, the distance from the point to the line approaches zero and slope of the curve at the point approaches the slope of the line. So it doesn't touch either x-axis or y-axis. So the shape of the AFC curve is a rectangular hyperbola. Now we are going to start with average variable cost. It refers to the TVC, that is total variable cost per unit of output, and it can be obtained by dividing TVC, that is total variable cost, by quantity of output, that is AVC equal to TVC divided by Q. So in this tabular column also you can see the number of units produced and total variable cost. So how we can calculate this? 0 divided by 0 equal to 0, 1 divided by 200 divided by 1 equal to 200. So how we calculated previously, in the same way we have to calculate, and the formula for that is AVC equal to TVC divided by Q. And here they have taken one unit of example, that is rupees 300. If the total variable cost is rupees 300, here you can see if it is 300, the quantity produced is 2, then average variable cost equal to 300 by 2 equal to 150. Next, in this diagram you can see average variable cost declines initially. In the starting it is declining and then it increases with the increase of output. So when, depending upon the output, so when the output increases, the curve also started to increase according to the output. So AVC declines up to a point and moves upward steeply. The reason for this is law of return. So AVC curve is a U-shaped curve. Next, average total cost or average cost. So this is the total cost per unit of output, and it can be obtained in two ways. So we can obtain this in two ways. First one, we are going to divide the firm's total cost, that is total cost, how the firm spends in the production, by the quantity of output. So in this tabular column you can see the number of units is given here, and TFC already you know 1000. TVC it will differ according to the units produced. So now we are going to calculate TC. That is just we are going to add this 1000 plus 0, 1000 plus 200, 1200. So in this way, we can calculate the total cost by adding TFC and TVC. And from that, already you know how to calculate average total cost. So the total cost divided by number of units produced. So you know the mathematical rule, any number divided by 0 equal to infinity. And in the same way, we are going to divide this 1200 divided by number of quantity units produced, that is 1. In the same way, 1300 and the units produced is 2. So in this way we can calculate the average total cost. Here they have given one example. If TC equal to 1600, so in this one they have taken as example. In this case, the quantity of output is 4 units, that is Q equal to 4. So average total cost equal to 1600 divided by 4 equal to 400. Next one, I told you we can do it in two ways. One way we discussed. The next method is ATC, that is average total cost, is derived by adding together the average fixed cost, that is AFC, and average variable cost at each level of output. So that is ATC equal to AFC plus AVC. Here they have given the number of units produced, and here they have given the AFC in rupees, and here AVC. Here the total output differs here. So 1000 plus 200 equal to 1200, and 500 plus 150 equal to 650. So in the same way we can calculate by adding these two things. In the previous I told you how to calculate average fixed cost and average variable cost. So average total cost or average cost we can get by adding this AFC plus AVC. So here we have to note few things. That is, you can see that ATC, this ATC curve is a U-shaped curve. So here you can see ATC declines and it reaches minimum when the plant is operated optimally. So optimum utilization of the resources, if it is undergone by the plant and it rises beyond the optimum, it can give the optimum output. So the U shape of the AC reflects the law of variable proportion. Children, today we discussed about total cost, average cost, how to calculate total cost and average cost. Tomorrow we will discuss about marginal cost. To receive our online lessons, please press the subscribe button and you will receive the latest updates. Thank you, children.